Welcome to this demonstration of the Insight Analyzer for Splunk, or Insight Analyzer. This solution continuously analyzes an existing Splunk deployment, including index data and data models. It shows the health of the deployment and generates a path to getting the correct data indexed and organized so the deployment is optimized and can enable key use cases and queries. Insight Analyzer also helps ensure the organization can run the Insight Engine's companion solution called Insight Investigator and its plain English search capabilities to get full value from Splunk and make the data accessible to everyone in the organization. Here on the use case coverage page, Insight Analyzer shows example use cases and questions Insight Investigator can answer using source types, data models, and relevant fields present in the underlying Splunk deployment. The top of the page shows the number of use cases and if they can be implemented by Insight Investigator. Supported means Insight Investigator can fully execute the use case with existing index data by running the related searches and producing relevant results. Further down, for each use case, the table shows the status, example questions that can be asked via Insight Investigator, and source types used. Here in the Data Sources column, the darker the color, the more events are being used for that specific data source as compared to other data sources. This page is very helpful for organizations who want guidance on what new data sources they should index and organize in order to accomplish desired use cases and searches. Additionally, information like this can be used to ensure any services engagements are focused on prioritizing key use cases and also are proceeding as desired. Back up to the top of the UI, on this data model coverage page, Insight Analyzer assesses whether existing data models in Splunk are set up correctly to be queried by Insight Investigator or any search leveraging data models. It lists here what data models are in place and supported, degraded, or are missing. Further down, here we see the data models that can be used by Insight Investigator. Ideally, all have a green checkbox next to them, as that means they're present and are properly set up and populated to be leveraged by Insight Investigator. Via red triangles, it's easy to see what data models are absent or missing and may require more data. This helps organizations quickly see how to improve their deployment. A data model can be expanded here to see more detail behind it, including the status, example Insight Investigator queries that can leverage the data model, and existing source types in Splunk that reference the data model. Here, on the Source Type Inspector page, organizations can easily determine which source types are providing data that Insight Investigator can access. That's the ones here in green, and it also shows what source types Insight Investigator cannot access because they are unmapped, down here in red. For these unmapped source types, the organization will want to map them to data models so Insight Investigator can leverage them. Or, if the organization has no need to map these sources to data models, they should consider stopping the indexing of this data to save on license costs. As you've seen from this demo, Insight Analyzer analyzes a Splunk deployment to automatically and continuously visualize a prioritized path to getting the correct data indexed and organized so it can be queried to achieve key use cases and also can be leveraged by Insight Investigator and plain English search. The main benefits are security posture is improved, Splunk customers get full value from Splunk, and the data is easily accessible and actionable by anyone in the organization.